As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I am joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants. Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology Meerut, deemed to be University, Center for Agriculture Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies extend greetings to all the participants from India and abroad who are attending today the National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in Agriculture. This webinar series is being hosted on every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Today is 22nd July 2021. This webinar is on the topic today, role of mass media for farmers' income increase, a case study from GreenTV. Role of mass media for farmers' income increase, a case study from GreenTV. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the University, and on my behalf, and as Professor of Emeritus and Chairman of Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, I welcome today's guest speaker, Mr. Zunaid Memon, founder at GreenTV and founder ARDEA Foundation, Agriculture and Rural Development and Environment Awareness, Mumbai, State of Maharashtra. For the benefits of the participants and the guest speaker, so far, under this webinar series, the university has organized 36 webinars on the topic role of agricultural cooperative societies in e-governance, blockchain technology-based fishery value chain, a self-contained village, a felt need of the day, spices informatics network value chain, Landana camera, a camouflaged treasure trove, smart hill agriculture, a digitalized hill agriculture value system, Mera mobile, Mera marketing, integrated mariculture, aquaponics, and precision agriculture, in short, MAPA biofarms for income revolution, smart tribal agriculture, optimizing value chains, digital agri-tech and industry perspective, land resources information system in India, present and road ahead, weather decision technologies for increasing farm income, big data in smart farming, sustainable soil and land management for climate smart agriculture, understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income, role of technologies in mitigating crop risk, how to generate additional profit via simple, attractive approaches in farm produce, realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry, Octosol, organic humic solutions for increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health, closing the nutrient loop, phosphorus management in protein farming, artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agriculture crop protection, empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media, poultry monitoring, smart poultry monitoring solutions, agrobiodiversity, intellectual property laws, agriculture and farmers' welfare, and insight into the issues for India's agrarian economy, Manufacture and application of biochar for increased soil fertility and crop productivity. Sustainable integration of livestock with agriculture and farm income increase. Role of geographical indications, GI, on improving farmers' income, lessons from Asia Pacific region. Dairy informatics network value chain, a dairy tech startup, perspective for farmers' income increase. Spices informatics network value chain, a turmeric startup perspective for farmers' income increase. Generating sustainable on-farm income increase through fintech intervention. Nutrition sensitive agriculture, pathway for increasing farmers' income. Artificial intelligence data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil. Harvested food for that minimizes human disease. Bioenergy supply chain, a business opportunity for rural enterprises and FPOs. Tech enabling India's tech-starved farmers for marginal manifold increase in productivity and income. Open insurance ecosystem for agricultural producers, risk management solutions to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and product food safety. Today is the 37th edition of this national webinar series, which will be addressed by Mr. Zunaid Memon, founder GreenTV, on the very important topic, role of mass media for farmers' income increase, a case study from GreenTV. Keywords are mass media, farmers' income increase, and GreenTV. To recall, the webinar series had a talk on empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media by Professor Dr. Sri Hari Om Srivastava on 4th March 2021. Agriculture sector, the foundation of Indian economy, it employs more than 50% of the India's workforce and contributes almost 7 to 18% of its GDP. At present, agricultural livelihoods are being severely impacted world over as the result of anthropogenic global warming and climate change. India is labor intensive and subsistence based agriculture sector is particularly vulnerable to this development. Climate change has both the direct and indirect effects on agriculture productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe drought, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. Indian farming community comprises of about 14 crore farmers, of which 85% of the farmers having small and marginal size operational holdings. Farmer needs timely, location specific, and personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identify the market opportunities. Many national level programs such as Digital India 2015, Make in India 2015, Skill India 2015, Startup India 2015, and Startup India 2015 have faced operational difficulties for its impact on farm level and farmer level, and that too at small and marginal farmers. Government of India has taken reforms through digitalization of agricultural systems. The Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 report 2018 has devoted volume 12B exclusively for digital technology in agriculture and has recommended 7 mission mode projects, namely digitalized agriculture, digital technology and innovation in agriculture in 3 sectors: smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solution. Third is digitalized agricultural resources information system and micro level planning, achieving smart village and smart farming. Digitalized value chain for about 400 agriculture commodities. Digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management. To the farmers, digitalized integrated land and water management systems per drop, more crop, and digitalized input health management for reduction of farmers' loss. This is very important. This is an integrated farm health management, integrating farmer health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fish health. And as you know that 85% of the disease we get from animal. Coronavirus is one such thing. With the three farm acts enacted during 2020 and with the 7 mission mode project as recommended by the Doubling Farmers Income by 2022 report of 2018 can facilitate one deep agri-tech startup in the country per gram panchayat. It means that this can facilitate establishment of 2.25 lakh deep agri-tech startups in gram panchayat, one in each gram panchayat, to facilitate and help 14 crore farmers of this country. Atmanirbhar Bharat, the road ahead. This is the vision of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation based on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, based on 5 pillars: quantum jump in the economy, infrastructure, one that represents modern India, systems 21st century technology driven, vibrant demography, and the demands whereby strength of our demand and supply chains should be utilized to full capacity. Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, the government of India in its third tranche of Atmanirbhar Abhiyan has allocated about 1.5 lakh crore as a booster. Major understanding market dynamics. Market-oriented farming, according to the UN FAO report, global changes of rapid population growth, urbanization, and market liberalization impact directly on farming, making it more market-oriented and thus more competitive. In market-oriented farming, farm is run as a business, buying inputs, using them to produce agriculture products, marketing those products and selling them for cash. The main goal is increased profit, where profit is the difference between income and cost. Farm business as part of a larger value chain, a system of organizations, process, and transactions involved in transforming raw materials into products that are sold and consumed. To be successful in market-oriented farming, the farmers require knowledge of farm business management. Farm management, market-oriented farming requires that farmers are knowledgeable about farm management. Farm management is a process of decision-making that involves setting objectives, planning, implementing the plan, and monitoring its outcome. And India, agriculture waste is India's problem number 1. I wish to refer to the thesis of the talk Mr. Sanjay Vidyarthi on 8th July 2021 in this webinar. He talked about structural problems of Indian agriculture. Indian agriculture has got several unsolved, unattended, and structural problems. Any kind of reforms without addressing these structural problems will be large on intent but small on content. Large majority of the farmers are small and marginal farmers who with minuscule income. They support nearly 600 million family members. We cannot wish these farmers away. The farmers have got small farms, have no or low access to capital, cannot afford a technology to improve productivity, and are unskilled. Unless we address these structural problems, Indian agriculture will be a perennial sick sector. Mass media. Mass media plays a significant role in dissemination of agriculture technologies. Radio, television has been acclaimed to be the most effective media for diffusing the scientific knowledge to the masses. In a country like India, where literacy level is low, the choice of communication media is of vital importance. Major technology research and developments taking place in the world has agriculture as their biggest use case, be it quantum computing, artificial intelligence, IoT, machine learning, big data analytics, virtual reality, augmented reality, 5G, all of them, their biggest use case is agriculture. And all these technologies are focused on delivering better productivity and improving farm efficiency. This is where role of mass media in agriculture productivity and farmers' income increase is very important. There are so many social media platforms, and mass media refers collectively to all media tools and technologies that including the traditional media, print media, newspapers, journals and books, electronic media, radio, television and cinema, and new media, internet and multimedia, which are all used as means of mass communication. Social media platforms include social networking sites, example, Facebook, Google+, blogs and blogs, virtual blogs, micro blogs, collaborative projects, social bookmarking, virtual social world, social gaming, content communities, photo, audio, documents, forums, discussions, board and groups, socially integrated messaging platforms, professional networking, and social news. I would like to quote volume 11 of the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022. Mr. Zunaid Memon, you have contributed a lot for this chapter. While writing this chapter, as the chairman of this subgroup, I have interacted with you. Let me read it out for your own, benefit and information, and also the information of the participants of this national webinar series. It goes like this: role of mass media. Agriculture extension service delivery has been conceived with communicating research findings and improved agriculture practices to farmers. Information on agriculture, both crop and livestock, was communicated among farmers from ancient times. However, with the development in agricultural research, need arises to transfer new information and technologies to the users, that is farmers. Agriculture extension can result in a domino effect by bridging the lab and the land in a two-way communication mode, as also connecting farmer to farmer, besides lab to lab, more effectively. Further, the lab and land need to be connected in a bidirectional mode to mutual benefit. Mass media are essential ingredients needed for effective transfer of technologies and that are designed to boost agricultural production. To fulfill this need, mass media like newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, film, and internet play a vital role. Women have never been acknowledged as farmers, even though making substantive contribution, and women farmers have rarely found adequate and appropriate representation in state-owned mass media, sponsored mass media, be it print, TV, and radio programs. TV, radio, Doordarshan Kisan, backed by technology advancement. Farm telecast continues to be an attractive source of agriculture information to rural population. Thanks to the increase in the number of television channels, agricultural programs have gone up substantively in number. However, the time share and content delivery need attention. Some of the agricultural programs telecast by TV channel, both public and private, are given below. I'm reading from the report. DD Kisan TV, Hindi regional languages, 2015. GreenTV, Hindi private, 2014. Enadu TV, Telugu, and Sam TV, Marathi. Apart from using the vast network of television channels and radio purely for flow of technical information, it can be also extensively used to publicize success stories of farmers who have demonstrated profitable agriculture, besides utilizing their services in outreach programs, community radio solutions, print media value addition by high literacy rate, farm journalism, vehicle for extension services and outreach. In broader terms, farm journalism is the science of conceptualizing, developing, and operationalizing information activities through various media that are supportive of agriculture extension. Is an integral part of agriculture extension services system, and its growth is directly proportional to the performance of extension processes, coverage, and impact and adoption. Access to information and improved communication are a crucial requirement of sustainable agriculture development. Agriculture journalism includes print journalism, online journalism, photojournalism, broadcast journalism, agriculture and development journalism, and media ethics and press laws. So this course was suggested during 2016 to be undertaken in the Shobhit University in collaboration with GreenTV. So through this today's webinar series, I would like to request Mr. Zunaid Memon to honor this request and let us start this agriculture journalism 1-year Bachelor of Journalism course from this academic year onwards. A candidate with a degree in agriculture science or an allied field can take up a PG diploma program in journalism and become well qualified to start a career in this field. There is a growing market for agriculture journalists, and broadcasters and telecasters having formal education in agriculture journalism and agriculture communication skill. And I also would like to quote from my discussions in the ICFA working group in ICT, which talked about the media alternatives to lead future extension by examining the role of social media in agriculture and how we can take advantage of internet. There are 3 components to internet media: social media, email, and farm portals. And it is suggested that it has to be in 22 constitutionally recognized languages to be able to do service for the common man in a most effective manner. Challenges faced by the media in the agricultural sector of the country, such as lack of effective and quality program production in terms of content and production quality. Encouraging the stakeholders to access resources through social media links. Empowering farmers. India will go from data poor to data rich nation in 5 years, allowing data driven decision making for scale and inclusion. And this is where the mass media in agriculture sector should take a lead. It is, it's India, to empower farmers. Kisan TV was earlier announced in 2004. Now DD Kisan is an Indian agriculture 24-hour television channel which is owned by Doordarshan and was launched on 26th May 2015. Year on, the Doordarshan Kisan yet to find its feet. This is what the Business Standard dated June 17, 2016 said. Agri TV is required and Kisan TV will be part of it. M-Kisan portal. DD Kisan and M-Kisan are expected to interact with each other. And according to the Honorable Union Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, in his interview on January 22nd, 2018, Doordarshan Kisan should show farmers' success stories. So it started on 2015 and 2018, a suggestion goes from the Honorable Union Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, that Doordarshan Kisan should show farmers' success story. And we must ensure that Indian farmers benefit from all these technological developments right up front. I endorse the 4 centers of excellence: Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions in Agriculture, and Center for Informatics, Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application of the University are focused on this core issue. Let us now turn to the address by Mr. Zunaid Memon, founder GreenTV, founder Agriculture, Rural Development and Environment Awareness Foundation, ARDEA Foundation, Mumbai, titled Role of Mass Media for Farmers' Income Increase, a case study from GreenTV. This topic will motivate and galvanize the participants who are watching over telecast through facebook.com Shobhit University India or youtube.com Shobhit University in for developing many joint collaborative research projects in the form of agri-tech startups in mass media in agriculture to facilitate farm as a business, and at least one per block, that means 6,500 agri startup or even 2.25 lakh agri startup, one per each gram panchayat. We are moving towards digitalized platform economy in agriculture, as Digital India is the way of life as envisioned by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. Let me invite our guest speaker to address the participants. Before that, let me introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Zunaid Memon, a filmmaker, a journalist, and an NGO.
Thank you so very much for inviting me for this session, sir.
Just 1 minute, let me read it. Mr. Zunaid Memon is a founder GreenTV and founder Agriculture, Rural Development and Environment Awareness Mumbai, State of Maharashtra. Is a filmmaker and director by profession, but a passionate environmental activist. Zunaid spent 5 years traveling in villages, meeting people, and understand their issues and concerns. He came up with the idea of GreenTV India in 2010 with a mission to empower and uplift rural section of the country. GreenTV India. GreenTV India was the India's first channel with the 24-hour programming focused on the rural and small town audience. When it was launched as a television and online channel on 15th August 2014. Over the years, it has expanded its scope to include the vision of Digital India as well, being now made available on YouTube and other digital media so as to allow access to the programming through the telephone and other digital devices. As the founder of ARDEA Foundation, Zunaid Memon has spearheaded many projects with his exceptional and untold storyline of empowering people to be self-sufficient and self-reliant by imparting knowledge, vision, purpose, and goal. He is true visionary, aiming at the betterment of rural India through nurture to nature. With his project titled 11 Days to Earth Healing, he has showcased his dynamism towards a global goal of reviving nature, an achievable dream when NGOs, philanthropy, and government work hand in hand. Thank you and welcome Mr. Zunaid Memon to address the National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in Agriculture, Role of Mass Media for Farmers' Income Increase, a case study from GreenTV. Before your talk, and we received a video clipping from GreenTV that will be run. Mr. Manish, please run that video clipping.
सूरज की पहली किरण के संग जाते हैं हम खेतों में उगाने अन्न। सर्दी गर्मी हो या बरसात करते हैं हम मेहनत दिन रात। दिखती है हमारी जिंदगी आसान पर हमारा काम नहीं है आप।
ग्रीन टीवी को हमारा सम्मान, इनसे मिली हमें पहचान।
मैं हूँ किसान,
मैं हूँ किसान, मैं हूँ किसान,
मैं हूँ किसान,
हम हैं किसान,
हम हैं किसान।
भारत की शान।
Yes. Memon, we are looking towards your address.
So, may I start or? Mr. Moni, may I start?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning, ladies and gentlemen, who's watching this webinar right now. I just wanted to take you through a little journey of mine before I give you my whole learnings from this process and whatever we have achieved over the 8-10 years of our life. When I started in 2009 and 10 about this particular channel, and because I come from film and background, and I either by showing $1 million for some a company called Pepsi or anybody, if I'm making a TV commercial, that means my communication has the possibility to change the life of millions of farmers, which our country is depending on. And 2012, I happened to meet Mr. Moni for the first time, and he was actually the first government officer I met apart from the broadcast ministry. And it was an eye opener for me, the way he interacted, the way he supported, and the way he encouraged me. Because before that, I was only getting discouragement. Most of the people said, "This is a government job. Why are you doing it? A channel for farmer is not a job for a private player." I said, maybe not my job, but where is it? It's not my duty as a citizen of this country that if I have a certain capability of communication, can I use this for the betterment of people? Somehow things were in his own way, but Mr. Moni was the first person who actually encouraged me, and at the same time, I learned a lot because all the references were very scientific when he was talking to me. And me, who doesn't not come from an agricultural background, for me, there are a lot of words were like a first-time words. I didn't even know that certain words existed. Mr. Moni, if I'm not mistaken, you were in Med department at that point of time, correct? You were in Med department when we met for the first time.
I was the Deputy Director General in National Informatics Center, NIC.
Got it. Yeah. So when I started learning this whole new things from Mr. Moni, and I realized, okay, fine, this is also very important. That this is also could be a gap when communication is reaching out to farmer who may not be educated, who may not be well informed. It's my duty that we should actually decode this whole knowledge and information in a very subtle way, so it becomes easy for you to understand. Like today, whoever is hearing this webinar, if everybody is not well versed with the words which is used in scientific manner, मैं सिर्फ खेती की बेसिक बात करता हूँ यार. I don't want to talk about agriculture because खेती words works for me. We started thinking like that, how we can use and decode this information, because this meeting with Mr. Moni was very important for me to understand my strategy of content. Yes, I was meeting people. I was spending a lot of time on the ground between 2009 to 14. But it was changed my perspective that what we need to do to attract our audience. Anyways, having said that, when we actually reached to licensing was taking time. So technically today, 22nd July, when we're sitting here, exactly 8 years back on 2013, we started a digital TV channel, which a lot of people did not know, because we always talk about our satellite channel, which started in 2014. But 22nd July 2013, we actually started our and people were laughing on me, why are you talking about digital? Because in 2013, if I say that I want to do a digital channel for farmers where we don't have a smartphone, we don't have internet connectivity, we did not have any support system, how a channel like this would sustain and how it will reach out to people. In my opinion, I was very sure that this is future. Digital is future, and we have to be ready for that. It may not start now, it may take another few years, but we must be ready for a digital revolution, and we should start with digital. Coincidentally, I did it because I was not getting broadcast license, but eventually today when we sit across and we're talking about it, digital is the key. When we are reaching out to people, everybody is depending on this particular technology. So 2014, when we started our channel, we also our biggest research, which nobody in government officials or nobody it was seen in system. I don't know what is the reason. I would say a very simple thing that what a farmer wants, he knows how to grow. Maybe he does not know how to grow the quality product, or maybe he does not know the quantity that okay, fine, in 1 acre I can take more yield, but at least he knows his basic job, that he knows how to grow the crop. Now his biggest challenge is selling those crops. The selling was the biggest issue, that how he can sell product efficiently. And one of my suggestions to government of India those point of time, because I was constantly at it, I mentioned about digital mandi, that farmer does not need to go to mandi. Can he sell his product sitting at his home? And that's where the digital revolution will work for us. The way once we're talking about white revolution or a green revolution, this is its time for digital revolution, where how we can use and how we can empower the farmer with his ability to sell the product, because he knows how to grow. Maybe he can learn how to grow better. Maybe he can learn how to grow more. But at the same time, he knows his basic thing. But his basic problem is how to sell the product. And even if he goes to sell the product to the mandis, he gets cheated at time, and he doesn't get the price. Sometimes he doesn't even know what he has grown, whether it is needed in the mandi or not. Let's say today there are onion people are throwing. There are people are throwing potatoes, and people are throwing tomatoes, not potatoes. Sorry, tomatoes. But if they knew if tomato is not needed right now, would they do that? Would they grow it? Or maybe if they know, okay, fine, how I can process this product and save this thing. Maybe I can do a sun-dried tomato, I can make a ketchup out of it, make it powder out of it. There are multiple things, but this poor guy does not have the knowledge. At the same time, they do not have the resources to make things happen. And our role started from there, that how we can empower network got disconnected. So our idea was how we can empower those people, that who they can then survive, they can do better for themselves. But our learning was way beyond that. We realized that the people depend so much on government machinery. They don't treat this particular job, especially the marginal farmers, not the big farmers. The marginal farmers do not take agriculture as business. For me, that was the biggest problem, that agriculture, they're considering it's because I don't know anything, I'm doing agriculture. Because I'm not educated, that's why I'm doing agriculture. There is nobody, especially youngsters from the villages, who wanted to do part of the farming. Versus places like Bombay and Delhi, where we are staying, we realize there are people who are educated, they want to go back to farming, but they don't have the information either. So our platform became very interesting tool for a city audience to understand how they can go back. It also became very interesting tool for the villagers to improve their productivity. But even after improving, the biggest problem was the making thing happen. I'll tell you a simple example. I'll just take water. When we're thinking of an e-commerce kind of a platform where farmer can sell directly to the consumer or to the bulk buyer, the biggest challenge was trust issue. That there are 3 or 4 different layer of problems in the trust factor. First, there are possibility, if I have asked for a 10 kg rice, will I get really 10 kg? Will the farmer be honest enough to send me the full 10 kg? He will send me 9.5 kg or a 9 kg. That was the first trust issue. Second one, fine, the farmer has sent the right stuff, but the person who is taking the delivery, or maybe they're getting transport, will he be truthful to sell the product, to make the product reach to the right direction without getting theft? The third problem was when the product reaches to the person, the actual person, will he be honest enough to give you the right feedback that, okay, fine, I have got the right product? It could be an individual buyer or it could be a commercial buyer. It could be anybody. But this trust factor was playing the biggest problem. And I realized, shit, man, the country is having much larger problem than just crop and farming. We may have to work in general, the national character of people. That was total different topic. That was nothing to do with agriculture. But I said, how will we deal with this? Because this problem, unless we overcome this problem, unless we fight back, we will never be able to achieve, and we will never be able to come like the Western world, which we all are. If I see, in fact, a lot of my initial conversation when we were starting the channel, the way an American farmer looks and the way an Australian farmer looks, can my farmer look the same? Can my farmer have the same kind of power? Maybe he has his own car and maybe his own vehicle. Lot of farmers there also have their own small jet, by the way, who they use for spraying the farm. You'd be surprised that people do spraying of the farm through small jet. They have their own airplane for the spraying the farming. In our country, we could not even imagine that, unfortunately, because first, our farming size is very marginal. Our farmer is we have a very small land holding. Second thing is, does not have vision. They're not seeing it as a business that unless I have to make money, I have to earn money from this. For that, I'll have to work on a better quality product, better yield, so I can at least make more money. Versus, they would always depend. This is very, very bad thing to say, but they depend a lot on government policies. In fact, a few cases I have noticed, the farmer has not done his the next season because he was waiting for the compensation for the last season from the government, which is just 8,000 rupees. So he was waiting because if he has to keep his farm land clean for the visitors, the government officers to come and do the inspection, that okay, he could not grow his produce, and that's the reason maybe he is supposed to get some kind of a compensation. And he was paying for the 8,000, but he did not do the season where he could have made 50,000 rupees at least, if not nothing more. So this problem is the large problem for this. Why I'm saying all this problem, because I come from a total business, different background. I don't come from farming background. I don't come from a government machinery. I'm a filmmaker first. So for me, I'm observing things, and my idea is how my storytelling can change your thinking process. So my communication and all my plan was, when I say my, now it's all about team. It's not me alone who's doing things, but I'll have to inculcate and I'll have to put my vision forward to my people to follow these practices, that how we can change the thinking process of every individual possible. Even if you're changing 5 people in a day, you're at least doing something substantial for the country. Let's do it. Let's not wait for millions of people to change overnight, but that's how we will start. And the main reason we thought of a TV channel, because we wanted to reach out to the larger audience. Because if I start working on the village to village, initial plan was, okay, fine, we'll go and do training programs in the villages. That would not have been impactful for one reason. I've realized, once you do the local program, that program is over in a month, 15 days, 2 months, 5 months, or a year. But project program gets over one point of a time, and it is only focused to that area. Versus here, we want to say 24/7, whatever time you come, we are talking about you. We are talking about your product. We are talking about your growth. We are talking about you to become more sustainable and powerful. And that's what the idea was. Whenever you come to us, you get motivated to do a better job. And that was the job of a media channel. That's the actual job of a media channel, apart from showing entertainment and news. How I can... Sorry, this helicopter. Yeah. How we can put this thought in the minds of people that I need to grow, and this could be me who is featuring this in the channel. So we wanted to create hero from the ground, to do for them to follow those heroes, and we somehow been successful in that. With the moment we started making a lot of stories of successful farmers, we realized a lot of questions from the small farmers, marginal farmer. Now they wanted to do things. They wanted to follow the footstep of those people. Some data was unbelievable from them. That is it possible to earn 2 lakh rupees from an acre of land? Yes, it is possible. Not in all particular area. There are certain area, there are certain kind of land with a certain environmental support. You can earn 2 lakh from per acre. In fact, at few places we've also seen 5 lakh per acre, versus the average earning for a normal farmer would be 30, 40,000, 50,000 max per acre. So I said, when there is a possibility one person can earn 5 lakh, I'm not saying everybody can earn 5 lakh, but this can go double. That time I did not even know that our Prime Minister also had the similar vision, because I was working much before that was 2010 onwards, and I was planning this channel. I did not know that Prime Minister also will come with the same vision. I was so happy to hear him for the first time, and he said, we have to double the farmers' income. Like, yes, this is the way it is. This is the way it should be. We must work on that part, where the moment my farmer is empowered with the money, the all other business will also flourish, because he will have purchase power. If he has extra disposable income, he will be able to buy things which eventually is going to impact the entire business system. I don't know why people don't even think about it. I don't even know why the companies who are agri input companies, or the larger FMCGs and all that, they do not spend their money.
Voice is lost.
Sir, you are unmuted, sir. Please unmute yourself first.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Big companies, input company, or who wants to sell their product on a rural market to the farmer, could be a great consumer. And to develop your consumer the way Western world works, they also work on the betterment of the people, that how my consumer has the buying capacity, he will buy my product. And there's a small investment. Unfortunately, that understand either we do not have in our country, or we do not be able to communicate amongst people that it is our shared responsibility. If we want people to progress, we all have to work together, and we all have to put our share of work in the villages. So I'm saying, you see, the doubling farmer income was a big problem with this mission. What all the issues we are facing and how we want to overcome. It's not only me. From learning from me, if other people who are listening to this conversation, and they come up with a better idea, they can come up with a better activation plan, and they can do themselves. It does not need that you need to share with us. You can do it yourself. You as a brand, as a company, as an individual, as an organization, whatever suits you. But the moment you do that, the moment you start putting your effort, you will see the drastic change, because this community needs to be saved. This is the need of hour. The way the population is growing in the world, the way the environment is changing. Biggest threat is food. If we do not save it now, we will be in a big trouble. We are inviting that big trouble, and that's why our farmer needs to be nurtured. Most of my conversation in this today's time is about nature, and farming has to work together, because unless we work on that part, or unless we work on the climate fight back with the climate change, we will not be able to save our agriculture, and we will not be able to continue to push our farmers to increase their yield, improve their yield, and also increase their earning. So I'm coming back to the basic topic of doubling the farmer's income. I would say it's a very, very, very important thing, and it's not only for farmer is responsible for that. It's the entire system is responsible, but the people who are purchasing it, like people, a person like we who's sitting in the big cities, who are buying a product, let's say tomato in 20 rupees per kg, but for the farm gate, the person has sold this in just 4 rupees per kg. The margin in between is so high. Do we really deserve to take that margin? Isn't it inhuman that we should not keep that margin to ourselves as an owner? We should also pass that margin to the farmer, which is because he deserves, who has worked hard to grow that food. And that's where we as a consumer are also equally responsible, that who we taking product from, what kind of product we're taking from, are they coming in from the right resources? I'm thinking it's a shared responsibility of all kind. I know the farmer is getting cheated at times because of there are a lot of product market is available, but because unfortunately does not know how to save his product and how to store his product, because we don't even have his country. So I think problem starts from multifold. The government is doing its own work, but apart from government, what private is off saying, oh, this is government's job, this is not my job. That is the biggest problem. We have to overcome this problem. We'll have to fight with this problem. That this is the responsibility of equally responsibility of a private sector to develop, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's a market, whether it's knowledge, whether it's any kind of a support system for businesses to grow, our people to grow. The moment our people will grow, eventually they will become your consumer. Please work on it. And that's the key factor which we have to understand, that we need to share a large chunk of our money to the farmers and do not cheat them. The mediators who are listening to this program, I request, because there will be one day when the farmer will be selling directly to the consumer and you will be nowhere in between. You will lose your existence, because the time will change. The digital revolution will change. You will be nowhere in between. So if you want to be part of the system, please help farmers to get their desired price which they deserve. That's number one. Number two, the farmers themselves also need to grow beyond the government system. As I said, everybody is depending on government to do certain things. Government not come and do magic at your place. Your place, you're going to do. Your place, you're going to support. Your place, you are going to do better for your place. Nobody else can come and they can only give you knowledge. We sitting here, we can only give you knowledge. But end of the day, you have to implement that knowledge. Unless you implement that knowledge, we will not be able to help. My communication is very disruptive because I don't go by the conventional plan. One has to do this, one has to do this. No, we have to do together. Unless we are together, we will not be able to do certain things. I will also give you a simple example. I'm sorry, Mr. Moni. I know you have been working with the government department and you may have your own point of view. But because I come from outside, I have a different perspective. Most of the departments are not working together in collaboration. Every department had its own budget and its own agenda. And coincidentally, the agenda is matching, but they're not working together. So today, if I need someone to know about better seed or better fertilizer, or maybe the better drip technology or something, there are 3 different departments who work. But if they work together, if they've gone in collaboration, in consolidation, the information would have been much better for the person to understand. Oh, together can actually create magic for me. You're sending the magic stick differently in 3 parts. There is a magic stick which we all have, but the magic stick is going there in 3 different parts, and the farmer is not able to move the magic stick in the right manner and is not able to do anything for himself. So that is another big problem I have seen in the whole system. Then we are talking about farm. We always usually forget about the animal. We always forget about the entire integrated farming system. That how our villages earlier used to survive, or how the tribal tribal people used to survive. Sir, I live in a coastal area, and this coast guards are now completely on the move because of the rains in Bombay. Yeah. So the tribal knowledge, the original indigenous village knowledge which we used to have, we're slowly forgetting that. There used to be a water pond, there used to be fishes in that, there used to be animal, especially cow, which we used to use in our farming practices. Unfortunately, slowly, we're getting out of it. We are not actually doing the 360-degree integration, because the water from the pond, which already had the fishes, becomes more fertile for your farm. The moment you use water for your farming, you're actually giving free fertilizer, which is created by the fishes. How many? I'm sure everybody knows about it, but I don't know why people are not practicing it anymore. We do not have water bodies in villages. It is instincting every day. The way we are misusing the water in, I won't be surprised next 4 years down the line, we will not have enough drinking water with us. Every aspect of farming is important, and we all are responsible to make things make happen. Where farmer, we are depending on we are expecting farmers to do all the magic, which is not possible, because his knowledge, his information, his ability is different than your knowledge, your information, your ability is different. It has to collaborate and work together. So I'm thinking most of my conversation, a lot of people don't like, because I ask them to work. And I've also stopped getting a lot of invitations from the forums where I always question, okay, fine, they are doing their duty, or maybe they are respecting the duty. What you're doing for this? Let's say today we have discussed in this forum about some good practices. How we are going to implement this practice, and who's getting? Yes, Prime Minister had the vision of making the farmers' income double, but how that scheme will be actually change the practices? Has people done the enough research the way we talking about it, that it is not only about money, it's also about the trust issue? A lot of people, my wall of my farmland with the other person, because I'm insecure that he will take over my land. That's another problem. So if I expect people to break the made, which is called made in between, and create a large farm, so you guys can actually do better farming, but because the moment you have a large farm, you save your farming cost, can do mechanized farming. You don't need to do a lot of physical activity. Your yield will grow. Your purchase power for seed, your purchase power for fertilizer, your purchase power will increase. At the same time, your power will also increase, because now you have the large chunk of product to sell, because places like Geomart or Walmart or any other big aggregator who's aggregating the product, they will buy from the large chunk of seller instead of from the small seller. So the FPO plays a big role, but by playing the FPO, we trying to remove that line from in between. That will also save you land. If you take a 100-acre piece of land, at least you will get 3 or 4 acre extra just by removing that small made from in between. But that trust, that insecurity about the land, because our system is not still equipped enough to take care of your land node, because we don't have an entire digitized system. Can we have the entire digitized system of all the land? Everybody who owns the land, his space is earmarked digitally, so now nobody can change. You can change the data in the physical record, but digital record is not easy for you to change. Can we do all that? See, these are the problems. We all have to come with a solution. Why I'm sharing this problem with you? Because a lot of you who are listening to this conversation may not even have heard of this kind of a problem. Oh, this is also a problem. I didn't even know that. That a farmer is waiting for 8,000 rupees from the government aid and not starting his next farming is a problem. There's a trust issue among the people, not only among the farmers, it's also the seller, the RT at the mandi. We don't know whether because they are dealing inside a small cover rumal ke andar rakh ke baat karte hain. I don't know how many of you know of it. So there is a trust issue because nobody knows how much money, how much in price he has sold his product, and how much is he's passing out to farmer. And I don't even know if the government system is equipped to understand this, because government is not business. Government's job is to talk about the policies. But what I'm talking about the business problem, and my other problem is we are not considering farming business. Usually it is considered just for my livelihood, just for my personal consumption, or maybe even if I get little out of it, I'm happy. So are we using you're taking the optimum output from our land? We are having about 17% of world's population, and as far as I know, sir, if my data is wrong, please correct me on my data. And our farm output is also 17%. But if you go to China, their population would be about 22% of the world's population, but their farm output is 40% of world's food requirement. With the lesser amount of land than us, we have more fertile land than China, for that matter. But their yield and their overall productivity is much more higher. That means we are not using our land efficiently to its best. Our half price will increase like that only. If I can take 5 in an acre, if I can take 20 quintal of X product today without using the better technology or a better knowledge or a better seed, if it can go to 40 ton, then why not? My income will anyways increase. So those are the things which lot of researchers are talking about it, which we're talking about lab, but when it is how it's reaching to land, that's where the gap is. So as I said, my usual question is, fine, we are making a lot of good plans. Yes, Prime Minister has a vision, but who is taking that vision forward? Who and how we implementing that vision on the ground is the biggest challenge. Me alone, Green TV cannot change the world. We are just one of the medium. We are basically communicator. We are the bridge between the government and the people. But there still needs to be a lot of hand holding, a lot of work needs to be done, where other stakeholder has to come on board, whether it's a farm input company, whether it's whether it's an institute, like Mr. Moni, the way you invited me to in the past also to talk about the agri-journalism. Unfortunately, maybe I could not take it forward because I was seeing people are not still serious about this journalism. They're still about crime, they're still about political journalism, but journalism is not taken seriously because it's a science. You need to understand science. Somebody who's working in a Discovery Channel, he or she needs to be knowledgeable enough to communicate about those issues when we are going down. Unfortunately, farming is a very gray area. Like, I didn't have knowledge, but I have acquired knowledge from multiple people. I'm reading constantly. I'm learning every day. Even today, when I'm talking to you, I'm trying to grasp something and I'm trying to learn from you. And that's the way I can pass that learning forward to my viewers. Oh, fine, this is a new thing I've learned. Can this be communicated? Can this be communicated in the right manner? This is all responsibility, I said. Unless we start taking the responsibility, I'm coming back to the same thing. So I said, yeah, why I could not come back to you? Because I was actually getting irritated that why people are not taking this seriously. Why farming is taking always secondary. Oh, farm means like this. While when we started, we were shooting HD. While most of the channels in this country were shooting SD, which is standard definition, We started with high definition. I said, no, this content, and it has to look pretty. It has to look aspirational. Unless my farmer gets see the aspiration value in this, he will not. I can't. I don't want to make Krishi Darshan. I don't want to demean Krishi Darshan. There are people who are working on it, but unfortunately, they're not working on the quality. We also need to look good. We also need to give communication in the language which is easy for people to understand. We also need to put forward to have a regular conversation with the farmer. Usually it used to happen like a Krishi Darshan or many other small platforms. This was a one-way communication. I said it, I informed it, my job is over. Where we came up with a tool, no, I said it, but after I'm saying something, how my farmer is reacting. And that changed the world. The moment farmers started reacting, the moment they started asking questions, the moment they realized, oh, there's an opportunity I have in my land and I can increase my income. That's how the thing started getting changed. So the two-way communication helped us a lot to do whatever we could do in our own 7-8 years of our spend. Out of that, maybe 2 years has gone only on digital. First year was digital. Last year is digital. In between, we also had the satellite. It does not matter. It's about reaching out to people, having conversation, and having responses from them, and addressing those responses thoroughly. There are certain things which is not our requirement, like people are asking about medicines to us. People are asking about a lot of other things which is not farming related. But now suddenly they saw, oh, there is somebody who's talking to us. Oh, there is somebody who is listening to our problem. Can we learn from them? And that's how we start developing our friendship with the farmers, and that has shown the result. And thank you very much, Mr. Moni. Because of you, we actually got featured in the magazine which you the whole forum which you were heading. Otherwise, I haven't gone to any government department to talk about it, because I'm always a black sheep. I always ask wrong questions. Because I'm inquisitive. I ask a lot of questions because I want to answer my farmer. So I'm always asking questions and always shaking your space that what you're doing. Okay, fine, you made a plan. How it's going to implement it? And that a lot of people don't like this kind of questions on your face, especially. They may answer you when they're sitting alone, but they don't want to answer in the forum, because sometimes they don't have answered themselves, unfortunately, because of the system. So if the government machinery is not able to fulfill the requirement, it is our duty, the private player, all the companies have to come together and make it happen. I would request this platform to use this platform to tell everybody, let's come together and share your responsibility and make this beautiful country food secure. Also, we should be able to sell the food to all outside, or we should be able to export enough to generate a lot of revenue in the country, because our land has the capacity. Our land has the capacity to grow. We have the fertile land. It's a God gift to us with multiple different kind of environment situation. If you see the Kashmir to Rajasthan to Kerala, there's a huge difference in climate conditions and the different kind of variety of product we can produce. So we are God gifted country. Just make best use of this land and resource and make life good for everybody. I think I would close it here, because otherwise I can continue. It's very emotional topic for me, and that's why I left my film business and came to this, because I was very emotional about this product. So I'm sorry if I've gone overboard and done something. I will leave this back to over to you, Mr. Moni.
Thank you, Mr. Zunaid Memon. Our Honorable Chancellor has joined. We welcome our Honorable Chancellor for his talk. And this is Mr. Zunaid Memon, and he is the founder of GreenTV. And he was supposed to join with the Shobhit University way back in 2016 through a course titled Agriculture Journalism. And today he's joined through his talk. even though it was heavily raining in Mumbai, and his, he was able to join, and even though his talk was slightly disturbed, because of the network connectivity, but his talk was so emphatic that Green TV is there to communicate to the farmers in their own language that what they need it. And with this, one, and I would like to request and invite our Honorable Chancellor to his valedictory remark. Before that, let me introduce our Honorable Chancellor of the University to the audience. Shri Kunwar Shekhar Vijendra is the co-founder and Chancellor of Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, a NAC accredited deemed to be university, and Soviet University, Gango, Uttar Pradesh. He is a prominent social entrepreneur based in New Delhi and carries leadership roles in many organizations. He has been nominated as the co-chairman of National Council on Education of ASSOCHAM, and the ASSOCHAM is the oldest apex chamber of commerce in India. And he has been nominated as a chairman of this council for the year 2020-21 and 21-22. Shri Kunwar Shekhar Vijendra is a persistent advocate of initiatives for education for all, secular values, crisis management through diplomatic and peaceful ways, and globalized system of learning and harmonious coexistence. He has been instrumental in the development of a number of higher education institutes in North India, including 2 universities and many research centers, an Ayurvedic Medical College, College of Naturopathy and Yogic Science, and a 100-bed oils hospital. Shri Kunwar Shekhar Vijendra is instrumental in establishing 4 centers of excellence: Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application in the university to promote informatics and technology-led development in rural India. He is also planning to establish a Center for Health Informatics and Computing in the university. He is very actively involved with a number of social organizations. Acknowledging his contribution in the areas of education and other concerns, he has been copiously honored and awarded. He has traveled widely in India and abroad to the countries like USA, UK, Germany, Australia, Russia, China, South Korea, Vietnam, Mongolia, UAE, Mauritius, Rwanda, Uganda, Croatia, and etc. to participate in various professional and social and educational activities. Sri Kunwar Shekhar Vijendra is a passionate Gandhian, avid reader, keen learner, and social speaker, and occasional poet and a dreamer. We welcome our Honorable Chancellor, Shri Kunwar Shekhar Vijendra, to address this national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022. Mr. Zunaid Memon talked on role of mass media for farmer income increase, a case study from GreenTV, which was established in the month of May 2015. Over to our Honorable Chancellor.
Thank you very much, Professor Moni. It is indeed a pleasure to join you on this wonderful webinar series with a very aspiring and inspiring topic, doubling farmers' income by 2022. A mission taken by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. And I am happy that through 36 episodes of this webinar and today 37th episode, we are consistently talking about the possibilities, different platforms, technology, that how we can support our farmers to double their income. I congratulate Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology and especially the Center for Agriculture Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies for the same. Thank you, Mr. Zunaid Memon, for a wonderful talk. Generally, what is happening that in this webinar series, we are having more technocrats, but we never had a storyteller. Thank you very much for joining us today. Because when you were speaking from heart. You were not talking about data. I must congratulate you that through your wonderful platform, Green TV, you are contributing to make this country more greener. You are contributing towards the prosperity of farmers in different ways. When you were talking, it reminded me of my childhood when there was a TV program on Doordarshan called Karshi Darshan. I hope you also remember that. So that was one program we always wondered that why this program is coming and no farmer was watching it. Because as you mentioned, that program was a monologue. I come, I speak, I leave. There was no dialogue, there was no information. And I do not know about the current programs, Kisan TV, Kisan Vani, or Kisan News. I should not comment on that, as I am not aware that what changes they have brought. But I have seen Green TV. I know that in your Green TV, interaction is happening, discussions are happening. And as you mentioned, that as a filmmaker or a storyteller, you are trying to bring inspiration over there, which is very important. For any social media, for any media platform, inspiration has to be there. Then only I will look and watch that. Social media, if we look at, or mass media we look at, it can be a very important resource for marketing, especially in agriculture. It can help a lot of farmers for marketing. But we have to see that all are these platforms, they become platforms for creating awareness and sharing knowledge also. Because just sharing information is not enough. By SMS also we are doing it, and when we say we have digitalized agriculture system and I receive one SMS that today it will rain. But we have to share knowledge also, knowledge, new innovations, what is happening. And I'm sure that at Green TV, you are doing so. When your talk started, before that, there was a small video about your channel. And I was happy to see that. And why I was happy to see that in your logo, you say मिट्टी की आवाज. एंड वो मिट्टी की जो आवाज है वो अक्सर सुनाई नहीं देती है. हम सब जानते हैं इस मिट्टी से ही सब कुछ है, इस मिट्टी से ही हम हैं, लेकिन इसकी आवाज को सुन पाना, इसकी अहमियत को समझ पाना, उसे बहुत कम लोग जानते हैं. और इसके लिए मैं आपको, आपके चैनल को मुबारकबाद देता हूं कि उस मिट्टी की आवाज को आप लोगों ने समझने, जानने की कोशिश की. और एक व्यक्ति जो एक फिल्म मेकर था, वो एक एक्टिविस्ट हो गया कि मुझे किसानों के बीच में काम करना है. जब वो एक लाइन आई, एक वहां रायम आया, सूरज की पहली किरण के संग जाते हैं हम उगाने अन्न. It gives, a feeling of pride. And what is missing, what you also mentioned in your talk, that we forget how to say thank you to our farmers. The society has no gratitude for those who give us food. We go to a restaurant, we say thank you to people, those who serve food, but those who produce food for us, we never say thank you. And maybe this is the reason that people, they feel that only those who cannot do anything, they become farmers. This perception has to be changed. As you were mentioning about your experiences about other countries, that farmers are having small jets and all other things. Yes, I have seen it in Melbourne. And I was happy to see that. And let us imagine, let us desire that. Yes, one day it will happen that even our small holding farmers, they will be in position to afford what is required, to do what is needed. Because it is very important that implementation of a mission and a vision, society has to come together. All stakeholders have to come together. It is not only the farmers, it is not only the politicians, bureaucrats, policymaker, institutions, they will have to come. But everybody has to come together. And I am happy as a storyteller, you have joined hands in this journey of empowerment of farmers. And I am sure that your contribution will be well recognized in coming time. One very important thing you mentioned, that we have to consider agriculture as business. Yes, some of us are considering, but not all. And when it is a business, ROI has to be there. Return on investment has to be there. And that calculation has to be very scientific. We cannot leave it on the nature, on environment, on so many factors. We have to see, yes, ROI comes out of the investment, manpower, man resource, man energy, whatever has been put in the agriculture, and it will come. The most important thing is that grassroots problems, grassroots possibilities, and grassroots potential has to be recognized in our country, especially in agriculture sector. When Honorable Prime Minister was talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, he talked about 5 I's. The first was intent. I can say that today the country has an intent. We all have an intent that our farmers should get better from what they are getting now. We should be able to support them in doubling their income, tripling their income, and increasing and improving their way of living. Intent is there. The second I was inclusion. Inclusively, we have to come together in this effort. And I'm very proud that Professor Moni from last 37 weeks is creating a platform. He has created a platform, is putting so much effort to make it very inclusive effort. We all are coming together. People are coming together and they are doing it. Third is investment. You know, generally when the word investment comes, we say, no, it is the duty of somebody else. It is not only monetary investment. As a university, we can invest in creating new knowledge. As a storyteller, as a media channel, you can invest by talking about them more, by spreading the good thing about them, by sharing the possibilities and success stories about them. So we all can invest our time, our energy, our knowledge, our experience, our exposure. Even that is very important. Fourth is infrastructure. Yes, there is a challenge on infrastructure because very small holdings are there. But that investment is coming and it can come. We have to see that even if at a small level, we can find that infrastructure. And we can create that infrastructure. We should try to do that. And I am happy I am seeing that in the country infrastructure development is happening very fast. And the fifth, which is most important thing, is innovation. Generally, we think that innovation happens only in laboratories. But I always say innovation happens here in our mind. Anybody who is working in any area can innovate, can provide a possibility or a way to ease the way of working, to support the farmers. And I must thank you again, Mr. Zunaid Memon, that you are doing those innovations through your platform, through your channel. I will be happy because the country had we always historically, India was having a lot of storytellers. If you look at right from our ancient scriptures, Vedas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita, Upanishad, everywhere you will find so many stories. Stories are there, and through stories, we made this society, this nation. We were talking about the positive things. Our lessons were through stories. So I wish that you should join our journey where we are talking about the story of education, where we are talking about creation of new knowledge. And let our young boys and girls join your journey and tell stories about their areas, farmers of their areas, and otherwise. So I'm looking forward to meet you someday, Mr. Junaid, in Delhi, and hope to see you soon. I understand that weather and this COVID pandemic and all those things, they are not very supportive. They do not wish us to meet very frequently. But thank you very much for joining us today. And I'm looking forward to have something jointly with the Green TV and Shobhit University soon. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chancellor, for your brief address to the National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022. I would like to request to Mr. Zunaid Memon, you would like to respond to the various points which Honorable Chancellor has raised. Over to you.
Apt. Very apt. Which have the ancient knowledge पूजा करने वाली जमीन है जहाँ प्रकृति की पहले हमने उसे सीखा है, and I've taken this forward to the on a global platform. I've started an initiative called 11 Days for Earth's Healing, which Mr. Moni mentioned very briefly about. Since we are talking, so I take 2 minutes liberty and must talk about it. That during the pandemic lockdown first environment for the positive change, my basic problem is how we can retain that positive change. Is it because it happened once? Can it be repeated again? So I said, I started writing to every prime minister, president possible in the world in last 1 year, and said we must do 11 days of kind of a voluntary lockdown. Which lockdown does not mean we'll be locked at home, but we will be able to move around. But we will not drive, we will not fly, we will not do fishing, we will not do any of those activities, which is going to create problem for environment. And for that, we know how to live with nature because this country has the ancient knowledge to live with this gadgets and without all the support system. We will give you that knowledge. We will share this knowledge with you, and we'll take this forward. So this is the new project which I'm working apart from GreenTV, and that is last year. And I'm getting great responses from the international market. Unfortunately, not from India. But yeah, this is we may discuss when we meet sometime. Sure, we will discuss about this also.
Yeah, this is a wonderful initiative, and we should discuss it in detail and see that how in university we can do such things.
You had a problem. Am I audible? Thank you, Mr. Zunaid Memon. And even though you had a network problem from your side, but you are able to communicate effectively to the audience, and also that the vision of Green TV, and as very rightly said by the Honorable Chancellor, that both Green TV and the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, GreenTV University, and Shobhit University, Gango, for which he is the Chancellor of both universities, doing a lot of agriculture, rural development, technology technology focus. And this is the first private university was able to set up 4 centers of excellence for propagating technology for rural India. So he is of the firm vision that Indian economy can be developed by the rural economy. Rural India means it's entire India. So the grassroots level development is more important. You said it very nicely in your lecture that as a storyteller, you are making hero from the ground. The same manner through education, and so both the universities are trying to make rural youths as an entrepreneur, as a well-developed citizens of the country, and especially promotion of technology in agriculture rural development. So it will be very nice that if GreenTV and both the universities work together to promote technology-led development, in the country. And you also very effectively said it, that what is needed. And the last one which you said it, that the 11 days of the healing the nature. And you lockdown is not the way in which the government locks down. The lockdown means, individually people should lock down. It means that you can get into yoga mode and you can do it your own, various possibilities. So thank you very much for participating in today's program. And there are, as we rightly, initiated in 2016, I would like to have an agriculture journalism course to be initiated, because you very rightly said it, that the science has to be communicated to the, farming community. And this can be done by agriculture journalism, and the GreenTV can be the very good vehicle to do that. And when you met me when I was in service, I think in 2010, and you also acknowledged that I was the one technocrat in the government, said that please go ahead, it is needed in the country. Because I also saw the rural districts when I was traveling for more than 400 districts in the country. In my biodata, I always say that many other people will say that we travel to foreign countries and so on and so forth. I always say that I traveled more than 400 districts in the country. And I have seen my growth by doing bottom-up process. 512 districts computerization way back in 87, 95 IT in agriculture blueprint, and then 2014. Of course, the seed has been put in 2010 as a visiting professor to Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, and 2013 June, the Center for Agricultural Informatics, E-Governance Research Studies by the support of the Honorable Chancellor. So things has to come, and we have to work, jointly in a collaborative manner. You also very said it. 3 super departments, they got a magic stick, but 3 magic sticks from 3 different departments cannot work together, join together, and they are all vertical silos. The digital revolution will make them horizontally connected, and this has to happen. And GreenTV television has got some important responsibility to join with the universities to make digital revolution happen. That's the reason only in one of the chapter, one of the volume, where I have I was the chairman of the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report, volume 11. I purposely wanted to bring in that GreenTV's contribution in the country for agriculture extension services. Still in the report it is there. So we have to activate it. You said it very nicely that Honorable Prime Minister has got the vision, and we have to operationalize it. And I'm doing it. My Honorable Chancellor is doing it, and Mr. Zunaid Memon is doing it in GreenTV. And today, this video clipping, when I saw that yesterday in the trial one, I thought that I should include that video clipping in today's program. Mitti ke awaaz. The soil health is more important. Mineral of soil is controlling the metabolism of the cells of human being, cells of plant, and cells of animal. So that Mitti ke awaaz has to be heard. So thank you very much for joining today and participating in this program, and let us work together. With this, I would like to if Mr. Zunaid Memon, you would like to have words to communicate. Last word. I think that is the communication problem. So with this, I would like to okay, yes, please.
Yeah. Because 33, 65 days I'm communicating. So I would leave up to you guys that it is a great session. I must thank you, because before I come into this session, I was little whether I should have part of it, because I'm not a scientist to give you any scientific knowledge. My knowledge is acquired knowledge from the farmers, acquired knowledge from people like you. So I was a little apprehensive before coming into this forum, but thank God I came and I got to interact with you all, and I feel this was also very important. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you very much, Mr. Memon. And with this, I thank our Honorable Chancellor and also thank all the participants from India and abroad for participating in this program and to make it very successful. Role of mass media for farmers' income increase. And it is we have started with the title case study from GreenTV, but now we have to see it that GreenTV enabled the farmer income increase. This will have another talk by you,
My
maybe
promise, sir. My
in
promise
due
is with
course.
you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With
We're
this,
doing it
let us.
together for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we will, close the webinar and leave the studio. Thank you very much. Thank you.